I'm Chairview.
And I'm Ash Sidham.
Welcome to Crippled Grown-Up Stuff.
Grown-Up Stuff.
I have two special guests with me today, and I'm going to yell at Ali Stroker for making cripples look like victims. Welcome to the second response to this terrible show. You ready, Ash?
Ready.
We have two crippled guests with me today to school Lindsay on what having a disability is really like.
Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Teddy.
Hey, Allie. Thanks so much for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
I'd snap my fingers, but I can't. That's ableist, Lindsay. How long you been in that chair, girl? Running into everything? And what a bitch. You'd think Lindsay would at least, make enough room so a fucking wheelchair can get in there? Also...
Damn! Wait. Lindsay, I thought you said we have two guests.
We do.
Well, I don't see anyone else. Where are they?
Wait. Lindsay thinks the chair is a person?
Yep.
Well, that's retarded.
She's right here, Teddy. I'm sitting in her. Teddy, meet Twilight Flake. She's my trusty chair.
I wouldn't mind being her what the fuck? Twilight Flake? Someone's been watching My Little Pony too much.
The magic of friendship.
I'm gonna name my chair. From now on, my chair is called Klefki.
Oh, I see. Hi, Twilight Flake. It's great to meet you. Cool.
Bitch, you moved the chair because you're a human. The chair is not. Acting like your fucking chair is alive is retarded. Can I have what she's smoking? Cause my weed obviously ain't strong enough.
Allie, what are your pronouns and how do you identify?
I use she, her, and I identify as bisexual.
My pronouns are re and tard.
Great. Does Twilight Flake have pronouns?
Twilight Flake likes she, her pronouns.
Twilight Flake doesn't like anything because she's a fucking wheelchair.
Watch it. You'll hurt Klefki's feelings.
Okay.
Allie, Teddy and I have been talking a lot about privilege and why some people might have it and others don't.
I love that. Privilege is really important to talk about.
Definitely. So I think Teddy has a question for you.
Go for it, Ted.
Allie, can you tell us what...
I have a question for Allie too. Are you single, girl? Nah, she's batshit insane. You might recognize Allie from Glee, by the way. Take that Glee money and find a shrink, girl.
Bella.
Talk with your doctor about how you've been feeling to see if adding Abilify is right for you.
Ability? Are you talking about ability, Teddy?
Yeah, ability.
There's a lot to talk about, Teddy. Okay, so you can obviously see that Lindsay doesn't use a chair to get around and I do, right?
Well, yeah.
That's because I'm an able-bodied person. That's my ability status.
Exactly. Because I use a chair to get around, I'm not able-bodied. That's sometimes called being differently abled or disabled.
Ability status? Fuck off. Rating people on what they can or cannot do is insane and discriminatory. The exact thing most cripples like me don't want. To be treated special. Unless, of course, you're a special snowflake using your wheelchair for virtue signaling or victim status. Crippled. I don't want to be coddled. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Also, could this episode speak to viewers any more condescendingly? Queer kid stuff always treats kids like they're stupid. I know where this is going. That able-bodied people have special privilege. I'm just waiting for it.
That's what we're talking about when we talk about ability status. Everyone has an ability status whether they identify as able-bodied, differently abled, or disabled.
I usually prefer to say that I am disabled, but everyone identifies as different.
Allie, if you're crippled, disabled, disfigured, lame, a PWD, a wheelchair user, a cyborg, then not really. Disabled is disabled. Sure, there are different levels of disability, but this isn't the I'm more crippled than you contest. You identify as Allie. Your wheelchair does not make you who you are. If you are laying down in bed, you're still the same person out of the chair. This crap of tying our abilities to who we are as people, can we stop that, please? You're not helping anyone.
We've met a lot of people who identify totally differently, right, Teddy?
Yeah, everyone has their very own special identity.
That's a great way to think about it, Teddy. You should also know that sometimes it's really easy to tell if someone is differently abled or disabled, but sometimes it isn't.
You've shown us a lot of people who identify in ridiculous, made-up ways. You've taught children things that they should not need to know at their ages.
You only cling on to identities if you're desperate for attention.
I'm not special, you're not special. It's not a good way to think about it. Talk about privilege. I'd say special treatment, coddling, because you're in a wheelchair is privilege, but most of us don't want that. You can't always tell, sure, but some conditions that social justice warriors claim to have aren't really, quote, disabilities. Also, bragging about things like, oh, mental illness as part of the supposedly normal you is not healthy.
You shouldn't assume that someone's ability status is based on how they look.
Just like you shouldn't assume someone's gender.
Or pronouns.
The biggest thing you need to know about people like me who are differently abled or disabled is that our bodies work a little bit differently than able-bodied people like Lindsay.
Body yes, brain no. You know, when kids stare, I just smile as the parent tries to rush their kid away, and I say, no, it's okay. And I simply say, I'm in a wheelchair because I can't use my legs. And if they ask, I answer questions. But usually, that's sufficient enough. You don't need to go into explicit detail. You know my first question I got when meeting people here on YouTube? Does your penis work? And that's actually common, out in the world too. People are curious. I'm glad for it though. Do you know why? Because people like caregivers or PSWs often assume disabled people don't or can't have sex lives or relationships, believe it or not.
And that's where privilege comes in. I have a lot of privilege because I'm able-bodied.
Getting around for me can be a little bit hard.
So can something else.
Because not everything is made for people like me. So I have to get around a little bit differently than able-bodied people.
Seriously, poor you. Life is challenging. Wah, look at me. I'm so helpless. Everyone pity me. Who the fuck wants pity? Sure as hell not me. I don't go around saying non-disabled people, or ABs as we cripples like to call them, are more privileged than me. I just realized that, hey, I have challenges sometimes that other people may not think about on the regular. So they may say or do things because they don't understand or relate. I don't go around saying that everything and everyone around me is ableist.
Like going up and down ramps instead of stairs. But just because I use a chair doesn't mean that I can't do a lot of cool things, just like everyone else.
Having enough money to support your family.
You see, it's different with paraplegics. And I know quite a few. Most of them, Ali included, I'm sure, still have upper body strength. And they could pull themselves upstairs if needed or crawl around. Hell, buddy of mine will crawl up the stairs and pull his manual chair up behind him. As a disabled person, you don't expect the world to adapt to you. You adapt to it.
Allie, I have another question for you, but I don't know if I'm allowed to ask it.
Well, you can ask me anything, Teddy. Okay, one sec.
Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear.
Hey, look, Chair. He's moving in on your girl.
Teddy, I thought we were bros, bruh. What the hell, man?
You know, Teddy, that's a good question, and I get it all the time. Do you mind if I tell them what you asked me? Okay, Teddy asked me why I use a wheelchair.
Is it because you're lazy and want oppression points?
Come on, Ash, that's not true.
Yeah, I know. She can't use her legs and just happens to use that to get oppression points.
When I was 2 years old, I was in a car accident and injured my spinal cord. The spinal cord sends messages from your brain to other parts of your body. The messages that I send from my brain to my legs get stuck, which means I can't communicate with my legs.
Just like Lindsay and Teddy have trouble communicating to their brains. But honestly, Allie, kids don't need all that. All you need to say to little kids, the age this show is supposedly targeting, is that you can't use your legs like they can. Keep it simple. You're gonna use words like communicate, spinal cord, and signals to my brain with 4 and 5-year-olds?
Teddy, I know that you felt uncomfortable asking me why I use a wheelchair, and next time you can ask me, what's your story instead? That will make me feel and you feel really comfortable.
Allie, I have a problem with this. There are many social justice types with disabilities who will go off on you if you ask them why they use a wheelchair, calling you ableist scum. How dare you ask that? On and on. And unless their hair is blue or green, it's hard to identify which people are likely to explode like this. What's your story? I can tell you, if every time you meet a new person you had to answer this one and give them your whole story, you'd get sick of it really fast.
Okay, then what's your story, Allie?
I get to use my wheelchair to get around every day. It's pretty fun.
It's fun? Get to? No, Allie, I have to use my wheelchair every day. Fun? Oh yeah, excruciating back pain that makes it impossible to function without pot. Swollen legs that are going to be cut off in a few years. And near total dependence on others for personal care. Yeah, really fun, girl. I love it. Please, oh please, Holy One, give me even more challenges so I can impress everyone with how brave and strong I am.
No. Ha 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 ha.
And I love rolling down hills really, really fast. I have an idea. Why don't I show you how I do a couple of things? Okay, I'm gonna show you how I get into the car or into bed. It's called a transfer. First, I'm gonna put on my brakes so my wheelchair doesn't move. Then, I'm gonna use my upper body strength to lift my body from this chair to that chair.
Being a little ableist, Allie. Must be nice to be able to do all those things, huh?
Well, at least your equipment works.
1, 2, 3. Ta-da!
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Allie, and for teaching us all about ability.
You're so welcome, Lindsay.
She didn't teach nothing. She whined a bit about how hard her life is.
Even though she's filthy rich.
And then she sat in a chair.
Thank you so much for watching, and to Allie and Twilight Flake for helping us out today.
It doesn't have ears, it's a wheelchair, Lindsay. You're welcome for the view, Lindsay, and thank you for all the views I'm hoping this gets. Seriously, guys. Those of you who watch this, thank you. Vid.me, Patreon, and Streamlabs links are in the description as always. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all more than you can ever know. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Please support the creators you enjoy. You can support me through Patreon, where you will get exclusive content. Donate through Streamlabs. Remember, even $1 helps. Even watching my content on vid.me helps me. If you are able to, vid.me, in addition to offering my free content, allows you to subscribe to me for $1 a month, or give tips on my videos.